Robot here from Vespa Motorsport, scooterwest.com. If you're looking for any how-to on a modern Vespa, a vintage Vespa, I got you covered. Check out our YouTube channel, Vespa Motorsport. So let's go right into it. How to set a clock on a modern Vespa. Modern Vespa, any Vespa that has an automatic transmission made 1996 and newer. So pretty much starting in 1996, the Vespa ET4 was one of the first Vespa models that have a built-in clock, and it carried into the Vespa LX, which is what we have here. So if your speedometer looks similar to this, has the pair of vertical buttons, I'll show you how to set the clock right here. The horizontal buttons on the ET4 pretty much work the same, so I'm not going to do it on the ET4, but most older modern Vespas are going to have a clock like this. And if it doesn't work, the reason it doesn't work is it's probably got either the battery's completely dead, believe it or not, it does have a watch battery in there, or you need a whole complete clock module. You can watch my other video for how to do that. So I got a fancy new watch here. Let's see, how do you set this? So the bottom button goes, the first modes are your date, which I never bother setting. And it doesn't matter if it's 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. because that's only for the date. But right now our time is 7, so we're right at 7 p.m. Advance to the next mode, so 39. And then you're back to this mode, so go ahead and push this button. Go through all the modes, and when the colon's flashing, that means the clock is set. So let's move on to the Vespa GTS 250. From 2006 to 2009. They have a very unique, partly digital dash. All right, 2009 Vespa GTS 250. So actually it's in the date mode right here. So we'll cycle through, and now it's on the time, and that's the clock button. Now just hold the clock button. And now we can set the clock. So keep in mind, these are going to be military time, 24-hour time. So where are we? We're at 19, so 7. And then we'll hit the other button to advance to that, and it's 45. And then just hit clock one more time, and now the clock's set. Oh, buddy 125 here. Oh, there is no clock. Let's move on. All right, so we have Vespas from 2015 and all the way until about 2024. So if it's got a speedometer, it kind of looks like this with this little screen down here, whether it's a GTS 300 with the ABS or a Primavera Sprint, you're gonna have the same pretty simple dash. No clock battery in these. You got the simple fuel gauge. It's on trip odometer, and you have a button, it's called the mode button. It's a single button. Sometimes this button has some corrosion, so it may not work the first time. And I'd recommend doing this with the motor off because it won't let you set the clock when it sees wheel speed. So you have the trip odometer, trip A, you can hold the mode button, and just like that resets the trip odometer. But you need to advance to the total, which is your odometer. And now hold the mode button. And we're on to hours. It's a 12-hour clock, so we're set it right at 7 by quick, short pulses, and then hold it again till it advances to the minutes, and we're at 52, so it just takes 1 to advance. You can let it either time out and set the clock, or you can just hold the button and it will set the clock. Nice and simple, 1 button. These ones are super reliable because they're running off the main battery. All right, so if your scooter's 2020 or newer and has this full, they call it the TFT LCD screen, it's gonna do that little like splash screen, woo. So you have a multi-function mode button, and you wanna cycle it to the right if it's on the Primavera Sport, Sprint Sport, or the 75th anniversary. And once you're at settings, and then just hold the button to the right. And it'll get you into this menu here. If you're on a GTS, it's going to have a 4-way joystick. The menus are very similar, just a little bit different on how you access them. The language, configurations, backlight, and graphics. So we're going to go into configurations. Instead of holding the button to the right, you push the button into center, and then we'll hit. First, I'll show you the unit. So you go down one or to the right, and you can set the speed and temperature, Fahrenheit, metric or imperial units. And it goes back and forth depending on the direction. So we're on the clock, click that. It's kind of goofy. We have 12-hour clock on. My recommendation sometimes is set the clock in 24-hour mode because it's sometimes a little wonky how the software works, but we'll leave it in 12-hour mode. So click that and see how it thinks it's 7 a.m., but we're going to try to get it over to 7 p.m. because some of them had some wonky software in them where it wouldn't quite set. So when it's red, it sets, and then just go ahead and push and it turns green. Right or left to exit, and then you go down, hit the center button, minutes, and we're definitely more like 55. Whenever it's red, that lets you change it. Once you hit it green, it's set, exit, scroll down, exit, and we should be good. It's a little clunky, but this is how you set it on these screens. So there you go, 7:55 a.m. See, doesn't even get it right. So my recommendation is set these in 24-hour mode. You saw that was at PM, but it went over to AM. A little bug in the software there. The temperature is there, and that's all correct. All right, so we're almost all through the Vespa clocks, and there's even more that I'm not going to cover, like the 946. But here's a 2023 or later Vespa GTS 300 HPE. It's also found on a 2024 or later Sprints and Primaveras. So go ahead and boot it up. As long as you have keyless fob, welcome, turn it on. So once the dash is booted up, keep on scrolling to the left until you see the settings. May take, and then see settings menu. Now hold down, and it says language. So that's your first setting there. You can set the language, but we're now on clock. I scroll down, or we can go up, back to language, units, backlight, and language, and then clock. So I'm just scrolling down, and once we're at clock, go ahead and push the button in the center. And we're setting the hours, and it's in 24-hour time. Actually, it should be 19. So up and down changes at time. It's right down there. Hit 19, push to set, and we are right at 55. So this allows you to go backwards. 55, click, and you can scroll through all the various things. I've showed that on another video. So to get out of the setting menu, just click rapidly to the left, and then it's out. And to show the time up here, once it's out of the settings, you could just click right. You have a trip odometer time, trip time 2, and then if you have total, which is your odometer, it shows the time in 24-hour time. And there's no way to change it out of the 24-hour time. So here we're on a 2024 GTV. So 2024 and later is this new style. If you have any of the prior generations of GTVs, which is the Vespa with the light on the fender, just refer to the Vespa LX, the original video on setting that pocket watch looking clock. So go ahead and turn your scooter on. And very similar to the 2023 Vespa, keep on cycling the mode switch down here until it gets to settings, and then hold the mode button, and now it's in language, and then push this button until clock, and then hold the mode button, set the hours. And right now we're a little bit past 8, so it's 24-hour only. So advance it to 20. Push again. You can actually also use both mode buttons do the same thing. I do recall that. So and then hold. Then minutes, we're about 3 minutes in. Then hold. And you can set the units. You could just let it time out until it comes back out. Another option is just go ahead, you see the clock up there, go ahead and turn the ignition off. And then if you turn it back on, the clock is now set. All right, well, thanks for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, that's magnificent. There's a lot of different clock settings on Vespas. Who would ever imagine? So there you have it, how to set your clock on pretty much any modern Vespa for the last 30 years. See you in the next one. Robot here from Vespa Motorsport and ScooterWest.com.